All right, we're joined by Ross the Boss. How are you today?
Really cool. We're on the road, finishing up our 26-date U.S. tour, and heading right at the moment.
Well, super excited. Born of Fire, your fourth solo album. Awesome record. But take our loyal music lovers back a little bit. I know, you came up through the heyday of New York, New York rock in the 70s. Who were your influences? Who really did it for you to make you want to do this?
To make me want to play guitar, I would have to say I started as a blues guitar player, more like B.B. King, Freddie King, Albert King, Eric Clapton, the early English blues invasion, Beatles, Rolling Stones, Led Zeppelin, Jimi Hendrix, those guys.
Now, where'd the heavy influence come in? Was that more of the Sabbath and the British stuff, or what?
Oh yeah, of course. Once Black Sabbath hit, and early Blue Oyster Cult, and Fleetwood Mac, Peter Green, those guys are all heavy blues guitar players.
Yeah.
Eric Clapton and Cream. So.
Well, you guys came up early, 73, with Andy forming the Dictators, so you saw all that heyday of New York rock with the New York Dolls and the Ramones and all that. What was the greatest memory back then? What was the thing you missed the most about that heyday?
Well, I miss CBGB's the most. We played there 38 times, and we closed it on the last weekend, and I just couldn't believe I was standing on the stage and it would be my last time. I thought it was going to go on forever, but nothing does in life. But that whole scene there was tremendous. It was an amazing collection of people.
Yeah, it's such a legacy that lives on, and of course you went into Manowar with 6 big albums, which in a lot of cases have laid the groundwork for what you're doing now with the Ross the Boss Band. What went wrong with Manowar after 6 albums? What do you think caused the split?
Well, I kind of think that sometimes you have like a marriage, and when you're in a band like that, you have a marriage. Joey and I were kind of like, and that's like sometimes you just have to leave. Sometimes it's better to leave, than to exist in a bubble that you don't like. So.
Well, you need that fresh start, and of course, Death Dealers, another one of the projects you've been involved in. Is there any plans to do another Death Dealer album anytime in the future?
Well, actually, the 3rd record is done. It's recorded. It will be put out in the summer. So thank you for asking, and the touring dates are being planned, and as we speak, I just got off the phone with them, and so the Death Dealer is definitely happening. And the original Dictators are going to start recording next week. Actually, they've started. It's me, Andy, Scott, and Albert Bouchard from Blue Oyster Cult is going to play the drums. Mr. Manitoba is not going to be there, but that's the original Dictators, and so everything's happening.
Wow, so much on your plate. It's amazing stuff. Now, with the Born of Fire, Ross the Boss album, Denied by the Cross, a killer single and lyric video out there. What's the difference? I know you took a different approach to writing and recording this album.
Yeah, this time we used demos. We relied on our demos. We worked up our demos. We worked up the arrangements with the demos, and then once we were satisfied, it was we went into the studio and we cut the drums to the demos. So. I mean, that's how we built this record. It's unbelievable. The results have been fantastic. I don't think I'm even going to go into a rehearsal studio ever again to work up a record.
Wow. Tell us about the other songs on the album, if there's any stories behind them or kind of any special notes of making those.
Well, all the songs are unique in their own right. I mean, if you notice, if you listen to the record, we're not a repeater band. We don't do like one great song and then we have 1A, 1B, 1C, That's not the way we operate. All songs are quite unique. but lyrically, you can tell, like Fight the Fight, Undying, Waking the Moon, Demons, Demon Holiday, Born of Fire. The title track cut is fantastic, great hooks. And my concentration with Mark Lopes, our singer, was to have hooks and hits, metal hooks and hits throughout the whole record. And I think we have that, and I think that's what's making these songs, although brutal and more heavier than our last record, more memorable to listen to.
Yeah, absolutely. We're super excited about the new stuff, and I know you're going to be heading out to a big European tour. What's the biggest difference between playing to American and European audiences for you?
Well, the metal audience in Europe is huge, and it's more concentrated than it is here in the United States. I mean, there are plenty of metal fans here in the United States, and we've seen it. But in Europe, it's like religion. It's a religion there, and it's great to see it. And we can't wait. We have the Burning Witches, all-female Swiss band opening the shows, and they have a new album out, and we have a new album out, and it's going to be a great tour.
Well, we're super, super excited about that. Now, with the new generation, a lot of these kids coming up today, they got YouTube, they got the internet and all that. I know they're certainly not normally ready to pay the dues that people like you have, putting it down and the practicing and that level. But what advice do you have to those younger musicians that want to follow in your footsteps?
Well, you better be prepared to, you better have some guitar. You better go back and realize the history of the guitar, history of rock and roll, American rock and roll, British rock and roll. Learn where everything has come from. Play any kind of music you like, but know what's going on. Go hard.
Yeah, we always say, if you don't know where you're coming from, you don't know where you're going. You need to build some roots, have some respect, where it came from.
That's right. So, you got to know what you're doing. You got to know where you came from. And, that's, you could have your your goals, but you got to know what you're doing. You got to know where you came from, where the music came from, actually.
Well, Ross, you've given myself so much pleasure over the years. I've been right there in the front. Many a Dictator show, many a Ross the Boss and Manowar show. It's great to see the perseverance. The level of intensity has not let up. If anything,
nope.
It's gotten
You're in
stronger.
LA, right?
Yes, we are.
Yes, we just played the Whiskey on a Monday night, and it was fantastic. It was spectacular.
Yeah, no, we always know what you bring, and can't wait to see the impact on this album and the next Death Dealer album, and can't wait to shake your hand at the next show.
It would be an honor. It would be an honor.
Thank you so much, Ross. Keep it up.
You got it, man. Thank you.
Thank you.